My name is Floor and I'm an embroidery artist from the Netherlands.
And in this class I'm going to show you how to create your own printed fabric. I will show you how to create your own piece with the help of Spoonflower. It's a site where you can create your own custom fabric with a repeat pattern or just a single swatch. This is also really helpful for people who want to display their illustrations in a unique way, or graphic arts, or their own photography. I will show you how to trace over the embroidery. So I'm going to show you how you're going to have the image and how you're going to trace over it with the threads, basically, and how it's going to help you with your project. This class is for anyone who likes mixed media and who loves photography or graphic art and likes different ways to display it. And there are so many options, and I would love to show you how many options there are and how easy it is to do it. I will also go over all the details on how to stitch your fabric, how to trace over it. And in the project section, you can upload your own photography, your own picture, and I will give you all the details on which colors to use, which DMC colors you can use for your project. So you will have a custom color scheme by me. In this part, I'm going to show you all the tools you will be needing for the embroidery part. If you don't want to do the embroidery part and just want to frame your fabric that you have printed, then you can skip ahead and go to the section part at the end of the class on framing. What we're going to need is a hoop. This hoop has a diameter of 18 centimeter. It's just a wooden hoop and it has a screw button on the top. As you can see here, you can just unscrew it and put the fabric in and then screw it back. So what we're going to do is we're going to put two fabrics together. This is the Sulky Solvy. It's a water-soluble stabilizer, and the Spoonflower fabric. And we're going to combine that together and put it in the hoop. The Sulky Solvy, you can see the link below. It is fabric, kind of papery fabric, that if you wash it, it dissolves. And the reason why we're going to use it is because the fabric that I'm using is very delicate. And if you put some stabilizer under it, then it can hold more thread, you can do more, and it's just better. And afterwards you can just put it in the water and it's done. So we're going to unscrew it. First put the stabilizer on it, the soluble stabilizer. It's quite a word. And then the fabric. This is always a bit of a difficult part to make sure that you're hooping it right. But it doesn't really matter that much because, well, you can always change it. And we're also gonna change it a little bit because I want to have the whole sweater on it. I want to stitch the entire sweater, so we're gonna have to move it eventually. Make sure you unscrew it enough so that it fits, and when it fits you plop it in and you screw it back. Also make sure that on the back, the Sulky Solvy, that it is nice and tight so that everything is even. There you have it. You screw it close as much as you can. And in the process of stitching, always make sure that it stays tight. So always pull that fabric so it stays tight. So we're going to practice the stitches that we're going to use in this project. First I'm going to show you the needle. Mine is slightly bent because, well, that happened, but I'm still gonna use it. These are from DMC. I will post a link in the description. All the stuff that you're gonna need for this project, I will put in a link. These are DMC nails and they're very thin. So you're gonna go up with your needle. You're gonna use one strand. You're gonna hold the thread. You're still holding the thread. And now you're not holding the thread anymore. You can let it go. It will sort itself out. So this is one of the stitches we're gonna use a lot. Now I'm showing you how to do it a bit the wrong way. You're gonna go in the other thread. What I did here is I didn't go directly in the other thread. You have to really wiggle and get right in the middle of the other. You see, because now it is a straight line. So you go in the other thread. Another one what we're gonna use is for the hair. We're gonna go up. I'm not saying this is the way, the way that you have to do it, or this is the way I do it. So this is for the hair. For instance, you want to create shading. So you're going to make rows, long and short. And don't worry that they're not that close together, because you can just go in again. This one you can make a bit longer. You go in and you go all the way up. There's a lot of different things you can do to get a better feeling of how to do it. I'm gonna go as close as I can get and show you how to do it. Let me focus. Yep. So here you see the rows that we made. I'm gonna make some more rows next to it. This color, and I'm just gonna repeat the same thing. But now you can see it from up close and see how it looks. And here you can also see the mistake better that I made, because you can see that with the first stitch, with the straight line, that I didn't go, I went a little bit next to it, so then you get a double stitch. So I didn't went into the stitch, but a little bit next to the stitch. And if you look there, if you go in the stitch, then it's just a nice line. Okay, so we're gonna make rows again. Doesn't have to be perfect next to each other. I'm sorry if you hear noise. Those are my guinea pigs drinking from their water bottle. Don't know how to get that sound out. You see that I'm going slightly more next to it to cover the section. It's nice because you can make your own pattern with the long and short stitch. Okay, so now I'm gonna get a different color and see how you can blend it in. Okay, so now I'm gonna get a different color. Oh, it's slightly touched, doesn't matter. And you're just gonna, there's not really that I'm, oh wait. No. That's a bit too off. So you cannot go for one stitch and then go like diagonal? I think that's the English word. So make it straight. So here I'm not even doing like a split stitch, I'm just going in, squeeze the needle in the other threads. I always feel like this looks more difficult than it is. Like if you see this, then it looks less daunting. But it's just also a matter of just doing it. I mean, who cares if you fail? You unpick it, you do it again, you go over it. Okay, so these are basically all the stitches you need to know to make this project. If you can do this, then the project is a piece of cake. And yeah, I hope you're gonna continue with embroidery. An important thing to remember is that when you upload something to Spoonflower, is that you have to have it copyright free, or you have to own it. So I think it's a good idea to always make sure that you have copyright free images, and you have a website for it. They have amazing photography to choose from, and there are so many. It is Unsplash, and together we will explore the website, how to use the functions, how to do search tools, and eventually I will choose some pictures of them. So you go to the Unsplash website and you type in seascape. And you get all these amazing pictures, free pictures of seascapes, and you can do endless scrolling. But I want to have a seascape with a girl. So these are all of them are really great pictures that you can use. They're great for embroidery. I like that one. And this one I'm going to use. So I'm going to download this. I'm going to download the file. So now we're going to go to Spoonflower, and I'm going to show you how you can upload it to Spoonflower. So you're going to Design, Upload, and you choose your file. You wait till it uploads, and you have to do a confirm copyright. That's why I think it's a good idea to use free images. So now you have this. I want to have it centered so it's not on repeat. I want to have crepe de chine. That's the fabric I love. And I want to have it on a sample. And I'm going to make it smaller. And here you see also how it's going to look in real life. So this is how you're going to get it. I'm going to add it to the chart. if you want to be sure how your colors will print on what fabric and how it will look, then you can also order the fabric sample pack. You can see how all the colors look on different fabrics and papers. It's just $3, but they're very popular now, so you have to wait a while to get them. But it is worth the wait if you want to be sure about your project. Here I have some different fabrics that I ordered. They look really nice. I'm gonna show you one, and the one that we're gonna work with. This is one with a surfer girl on it. I really like it, and the background is also how I wanted it. Now I'm gonna show you the one that we're gonna work with. This one, I really love how the colors ended up. I'm gonna show you from up close how it looks. I mean, the camera doesn't capture it that well, but it's really nice. The colors look really nice on the shiny fabric, and it's very see-through, and it looks really good. The shine is really nice, and it's really amazing how they printed it. You really can see the details. Okay, for the hair, we're gonna use one strand for all the hairs. And we're gonna begin with the light part. So all those spots you see where it's really like the highlight, where the light reflects the hair, we're gonna use the lightest color there. I'm not going to show you from up close because I did some part of the highlight, and I'm going to fill it with a slightly darker color. And if I wouldn't do it up close, you wouldn't see the difference, I think, in the color. So it's very subtle. It's a very subtle change of color that I'm using. And you're just going to use a technique where you do a split stitch. So you're going to go in with your needle on the other side. And this is, now I'm using a darker color. So you're really just filling the space with different kind of shades of brown. So you're following the lines from the picture. So this is the darkest color that I'm using. And now you can really see how nice the really subtle difference is in the colors. And you're basically gonna repeat this everywhere. Yeah, on the hair. So light for the reflection, a subtle change of color. And then with the really dark part, you take the darkest color. It's basically how you do it. So for the top of the hair, we're gonna do, well, actually same thing, although we're now gonna do it in a straighter line. So you're just gonna look again for the highlights from the sun. So I'm first catching all the highlights that I really want to catch. And then I start making my way from the top till down. So I did all the highlights that I really wanted to have there. And now I'm just going to basically go from the top of the head and work my way down. And you're going to use different colors. So we're going to just blend. So this is also what I do. I just randomly use heights. So I don't have a specific, like, oh, you have to, long, short, and it has to be the same height. Especially with hair, it's good if it's really uneven. Makes it more interesting with the colors, with the blending. So here you can really see it from up close how I do it. So I went from light to darker to the darkest. And now it's just a matter of blending it all in. But the large portion here is definitely the dark part. So we're almost done with the hair, and now we're gonna continue with the sweater. For the shirt, we're gonna use 2 strands because otherwise it's gonna take a very long time. For the shading, we're gonna use 2 strands, sometimes 1 strand. So you're gonna start somewhere in the middle, and you're gonna make rows of lines next to each other. This is basically just filling the space with thread. And you're gonna do it uneven a bit, so long, short, long, short. If you do it like this, at the same length, you're gonna see it from a distance. So it's better to do it long, short, long, short. And also we're gonna blend it in with different colors to make the shading. So you're just gonna start with making rows. This took me pretty long. So this is a little bit challenging because it can become quite a challenge after a bit boring. So we're gonna fill it in all the way to the other side of the sleeve, and I'm gonna show you how to do the shadow on that side. And you can match it up with the other side later. Okay, so shading is a really difficult thing to do, in my opinion, especially with clothes or skin color. Hair not so much, but with skin and clothes, I think it's really difficult. What I'm doing here is I'm going in with a slightly darker gray, and I'm just gonna follow the lines of the picture. This is really handy for me. I find it very difficult to do without these reference. So I'm basically like tracing it with the slightly darker gray. I'm gonna fill that in with the medium grayish tones. So now I'm using like a really dark gray to go in those really dark shades. It maybe look really dark now, but when it all blends in, it looks really good. So now we're going back to the normal gray. And as you can see, it's already like really coming nice together, and it's blending really nice. And we're just going to continue doing that. So here we have the end result of this side of the sleeve, and you're just gonna do the same thing on the other side. As the last part, we're gonna do the neck, and we're gonna go sideways because the shading, as you can see in the picture, is also sideways. So, and it's a nice change to have a different direction of shading. So we're going to begin with the darkest part, because as you can see in the picture, that also like close to the hairline, the skin is darker than at the end. Now I'm going to use a slightly lighter color, and we're just going to repeat what we did before. So you're going to go in and make rows. For the last part, I'm gonna use the lightest color, and this happens to me a lot when I do embroidery, because when I look at it now and I'm using the lightest color, I do think to myself like, the darkest color that I used doesn't blend well with the two other colors, in my opinion. I think the other ones are more orangey, and the dark color is more to the red. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and take another color, and I'm not gonna unpick, but I'm gonna cover it up. I do that because unpicking is, well, first of all, unpicking is the worst. It's just, nobody really likes it. But it's also, it saves you time, and it's also nice that you still slightly can see the other color underneath. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to cover up that other color. I'm now going to use a color that is a little bit more flash tone and a little more orangey and a bit different. So I'm just gonna go over the other color. Just to cover it up and blend it in with the other color. In the end, I think it looks way nicer. Sometimes it happens that you look at it from a distance and you're like, no, actually. And then it's very easy to cover up. That's what I like about embroidery. As you can see, it looks now way better than with the color that I used before. It's now close. Well, it's now done. The only thing you need to do is the ears. I didn't put it on film because it's just straightforward, just a couple of lines. Use two colors and you blend it in a bit. It's, basically the same thing. And then we're now going to wash it. So we're all done. And it looks really pretty. I love it. It's really nice, the background with the stitch hair and the sweater, the shirt, the neck. So what we're now gonna do, we're gonna get it out of the hoop and we're gonna cut away as much of the soluble fabric as needed, because we want to wash away as much as possible. I'm gonna use a bowl of water. It's just water, nothing else in it. So I'm gonna cut away all the excessive soluble fabric that's hanging on the side. And well, this is just a scissor that was really close to me, but maybe use a better scissors than this. So I'm gonna cut away all the unnecessary soluble fabric, because it does get, you want to wash it away, but cut as much off. It's also good to reuse it. So here we have it, almost, the little piece. And I'm gonna put it in. And as you can see, it's just gone within a few seconds. But after that, you want to rinse it off good. What I do is just, was too difficult for me to film it, but what I do is I rinse it off under the tap. So you just let it soak for a while. Here I'm just like dabbing it under. And then we're gonna go to the tap and wash it off and let it dry. So now it's dry. It's a little bit, I don't know if you guys also feel that, but it's a bit harder than it was in the beginning. I don't know how that is, what it is. Anyway, it's still fine. What we're gonna do is we're gonna cut away all the loose threads on the side. Don't worry that it will not look good, or that it will fall off, or that the threads will come out. It won't. You can always secure it with glue. Use an embroidery scissors. And now we're gonna put it in the hoop. So I was telling you that we're gonna use the position of the hoop because I don't want them to see the. I don't want you to see the knot stitch part. And I like it when it's completely stitched till the bottom. And then if I turn it around, you're just gonna make it really secure. Just pull on everything a bit so that it's nice and tight. And screw the screw thingy, the screwer. I don't know how to call it. I'm really close. Okay, so this is not my strongest part, but this is how I do it. I use textile glue. Again, you can find it in my description. And I'm gonna put that textile glue on a piece of fabric. First, I'm gonna cut out excessive fabric. So yeah, and I can imagine that for people it's a bit scary because it's like, oh god, what if I cut too much off? You won't. You can always. You have to cut a lot off because you're gonna wrap it double over the hoop and you don't want it to see it on the other side. So you will need to cut a lot off. I couldn't find my fabric scissors, you know, the ones that have like these like that it's wavy, like a wave scissors. You guys know what I mean. And that looks way better. Couldn't find it, but normally I do that and then you get like a nice even look. Okay. Yeah, so I'm using a piece of fabric that I'm going to throw away. And I'm putting it on that. Because I know myself, I'll squeeze too hard and then it will like all over the place. And I'm trying to avoid that. I think it's rather remarkable how I did it just out of the camera shot. Whoops. But you get the picture. You just put the glue, yeah, there you go, on the fabric. So then when I put it on the fabric, I'm now gonna smear it out on the top of the lid, and I'm gonna put it over the fabric. And then you can also use a paintbrush. Then you're just gonna fold it over. So now we're done. Just gonna have to let it dry. thank you so much for joining me in this class. Can't wait to see what you all gonna make, and please leave me feedback, good, bad, doesn't matter. Thank you so much.